Hello, good day to all our viewers. My name is Xavier. I'll be your host for today. And like every session, we try to bring you the best in innovation, technology, and solutions out there in the market. And you get to hear it directly from the CEOs or the relevant leaders speaking about the project. And the best part is that you're always welcome to post your questions or comments in the chat box, and we will address it. So, isn't that a perfect way to learn more about the different projects, to hear it directly from the founders? But before we move on to the interview, as a reminder, you can always see our previous shows and content by visiting talking.com/VCTV/shows. And if you're following our socials like Facebook and Twitter, just subscribe. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button as well. You'll be informed of great content opportunities and even giveaways. One very important reminder, anything mentioned here is not any type of financial advice. Please do your research before making any decision. It's your choices and your responsibility. With that said, I would like to introduce a great project called EEAT. And with them is the CEO, Paul, and the CTO, Caleb. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you?
Hi, Xavier. Nice to be here.
Great to have you here. Well, gentlemen, it's a great project you have. I've been reviewing the website. I will share the website as well later with our viewers. But in the meantime, they can also see it here. The domain EEAT.finance. So, gentlemen, to start with, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and the team behind this project?
Sure. Shall I go first, Caleb?
Yeah, I was going to let you introduce everyone.
Okay. First of all, thank you very much for having us. We're very excited to be here on this IEO and also to be listed with La Token. So to tell about ourselves, my name's Paul. I'm the CEO, and I met Caleb in another project that we were both admin on as part of an admin team. And we've known each other for about a year now. And we've got a very similar idea that came together. We've both come from a background historically of restaurants. Caleb's family have been in restaurants for a very long time. And I've had a restaurant or a couple of restaurants for the last 6 years. And I've been in crypto for a few years, as Caleb has as well. And along our journey, we've met a number of people that we trust and get on with, and we've brought them with us on this journey as well. They're all part of our team. So the core team at the moment consists of 6 people. The 2 main people are the co-founders, that's ourselves. So we thought we'd just be the 2 that come to you today. The idea behind the restaurant is that during COVID, a number of my friends that are in the industry lost their restaurants because they couldn't afford, or they were working on very small margins in order to survive. Part of the costs of running restaurants, if you were to run a restaurant, is to receive credit card payments. And since I began restaurants some time ago, we've gone from a cash dominant society to now a contactless society using debit and credit cards. Now, the only problem with accepting debit and credit cards is it's not a peer-to-peer transaction. It's there's a middleman. The middleman is the Visa, MasterCard, Diners, etc., and they take fees. But before they take their fees, there's a number of things that you have to have as a business in order to just have the facility to accept card payments. And when you aggregate all of those fees that you're paying on a monthly basis for the phone line, the bank accounts, the terminals, the router, the Wi-Fi, the broadband, and then on top of that, the bank fees for the charges in and out for each transaction, you lose between around 5 to 7% of your actual transaction. So, and that's depending on where you are in the world. And on top of that, you don't actually get the funds for that transaction for between 3 to 5 days. So if it was paid in cash, as it used to be, you'd have the liquid assets in your hands right there and then, and you could then pay suppliers wages when you want. But having to wait 3 to 5 days does cause an issue for some restaurants that work in arrears effectively. Now, with cryptocurrency, I see that as the future for everything. Literally everything is going to go to either the blockchain or to accept cryptocurrency. And by accepting cryptocurrency in restaurants, you have access to liquid assets immediately. So it's almost, again, it's a peer-to-peer transaction. It's from customer directly to the owner of the restaurant. And I wanted to create a situation where we would be the first, coming from people that are in the industry, knowing how the industry works, but also being in cryptocurrency as well. So having spoken to Caleb about it, we decided to come together and create EEAT together. And that's the basis of this baby of ours. And I'll let Caleb introduce himself.
Thank you, Paul. Yeah, I'm Caleb Book. I'm the CTO and co-founder of EEAT. My background, along with Paul's, has been a restaurateur, but at the same time, I'm also an engineer. So working around a lot of this tech, been involved with it for quite some time, and saw that there's a lot of application. And in this space, there's a lot of memes and gimmicks. And so the overall idea is to create an ecosystem of furthering the utility of cryptocurrency in general, and having our token being the driving force of that. So essentially, you have a lot of other tokens that will be in here, and they don't really have a whole lot of utility, do they? You'll be in them, and they say, get other people to buy in, and then we'll all be rich. That's not our MO. We are creating something that actually has a function, actually has a utility, and speaks for itself. And so that's the overall idea that we're driving forward.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for that introduction. Now, Paul, you did mention a little bit earlier about what was your motivation in order to start this project in the hospitality industry after COVID. But concretely, is that the only problem, or was there something else to motivated you to and your co-founder to start this project? But it's only about the ways of getting paid, or is there something else?
There is. I mean, I'm such a convert to cryptocurrency and a true believer in the good that cryptocurrency will do in a form of transfer of wealth from the masses into the mass population. So in order for cryptocurrency to get where it's going, because it is going to get there eventually in the next 5 to 10 years, cryptocurrency will be everywhere. But in order to get there, we need mass adoption. So how can we, as an industry now, how can we get mass adoption and convince people, normal people that don't know anything about cryptocurrency, to use cryptocurrency? And the only way to do that is to make it be, as I truly believe, the only way to do that is to have it being used on a daily basis for real things in real life, not just buying things in the metaverse or buying a service or a product that you can only use on your computer. So Elon Musk can accept a Tesla, payments in Bitcoin for Tesla, but that's really about it. So I wanted to create something that was used every day, and restaurants for me is what I know. And I thought that's the perfect way, perfect entry point for normal people. If it was easy for them to acquire and use, that would be the perfect entry point for them. So I along with my team, have been convincing other restaurants to sign up and start accepting our cryptocurrency. And I'm pleased to say that we have a lot already signed up, just under 900 restaurants. I'm not sure whether Bitcoin has 900 restaurants in the world, but we've got just under that in the UK.
All of these 900 are in the UK?
To start with, yeah. They're going to be our proof of concept. I've got agreements with restaurants in New York and Miami as well to start in the US. So we'll be looking to expand as quickly as we can as an app and a currency that's being used across the world globally. We don't see it just being United States of America and the United Kingdom. We see it everywhere.
Okay, I thank you. I have a few questions that I'm sure our viewers will be also wondering about the token, but let's jump on that a little bit later. I want first for the viewers to get a general idea about what the project is about. And if you gentlemen would allow me, I would like to show a video of yours, the one that's featured on our website. If The viewers are like me. I'm very visual. I like learning with images. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to play this. I would like to play your video for our viewers right now.
Sure.
Let's have a look at it.
Technological advancement is spreading like wildfire in almost all industries. The hospitality industry has made major technological advancements by booking rooms or services more sophisticated and customer-friendly. However, the payment process within the sector for their services is still not up to date compared to other industries. Our cryptocurrency, EEAT, is the future of payments in the hospitality industry. EEAT looks to expand cryptocurrency payment options while driving mass adoption in the hospitality industry. EEAT has been specifically designed to offer both business owners and consumers a more transparent transaction model, aimed at cutting costs by allowing business owners instant access to their funds without the fees seen on traditional credit cards. And customers will enjoy discounts when paying with EEAT tokens. EEAT aims to be the main driver of mass adoption in restaurants, bars, and hotels by integrating the EEAT payment app into established payment systems. Join the EEAT ecosystem and be a part of the future of hospitality. www.eeat.finance.
Great. I think that's self-explanatory, but I would, just for the sake of it, I would like to share also my screen right now. And here we are. I hope you can see it. There we go. That's the page. So it does say EEAT, driving mass currency adoption and inspiring technological disruption in the hospitality industry. For our viewers, you can always check more information about this project at eeat.finance. You will be able to read about the futures, the roadmap, who's the team behind it, the light paper, and get in contact with the community. Now, as I mentioned before, I'm really curious about the token, because one of the reasons why you can't just have a go with a Bitcoin or Ethereum to buy something, milk or bread for everyday things, is a little bit the fluctuation, right, of the currency. We see that happen in El Salvador. They do have all these places that accept Bitcoins, but volatility is an issue. Now here with EEAT, how do you plan to approach that issue?
So the way that we look at it is stable coins is the answer. So if we
Uh-huh.
pair with stable coins, that's going to create less volatility. We've traded for a couple of months under BNB in our version 1, which is now we've stopped trading that, but we did notice that the value was changing as BNB changed in value. So we, having reassessed our situation before we launched our V2 on our token, we decided that stablecoins was the answer for us.
Okay, it does make sense. It does make sense because then you give some stability, and then the people, the merchants especially, will know what they receive at the end of the day.
Yes.
Right. And of course, it'll be more competitive. You mentioned if there's institution in the middle, a merchant service provider to provide the POS terminals in the restaurants. That's always an issue. You have the brokers behind and so on. So it can become quite expensive. So this could be a solution. But on the other side of things, we know that investors do look for opportunities for growth. So this being a stable coin, what can investors expect when they will be investing in that token, as opposed, for example, with a new hype project that they assume that the value of the coin would go up over a certain period of time? So what can you tell to investors about this project of yours in the stable coin?
Yeah, so to clarify on that, the EE token itself isn't the one being marketed as the current stable coin. The stable coins that we'll be accepting and using would be like BUSD, USDT, and typically if you're going, you can also pay in Ethereum and Bitcoin. So in our wallet that's connected to the app, it's going to allow for a seamless swap. So if you get paid in Bitcoin, then the Bitcoin gets converted into USDT, depending if that's the request. and it's done immediately, so you don't have to gain or lose anything from that transaction. It keeps its value. The EEAT token right now, the liquidity pool, until it is large enough to become stable, it is to be used as the token that's primarily for rewards, the reward system in the ecosystem as well. So there is the chance for growth. Essentially, it's not going to start off as a stable coin. So that's the answer to that question. If they're looking for growth, there is still growth to be had, significant amounts.
Okay, thank you. I'm sure our viewers were having that question, so it's always good to clarify that, get that out of the way. We're receiving a good comments. I see that your community is very active. Just to give you a couple of examples, as you can see below, Matthew, love you, Paul. Make money. I'm supporting EEAT from the early days, $1 billion project. Amazing project. Good job. Best project, lovely community. So, gentlemen, where is your community coming from? If you have already 900 UK restaurants, is your community more EU based or Europe based?
We've got community members in our admin team are from Sweden, Iran, Persia, Turkey, Germany, Canada, America. We've got some in Australia as well. So we see, because this is such a global thing, I think these guys are understanding that we might just have started in the UK, but within a very short space of time, we expect to be everywhere. So we got a lot of a wide range of community members, and it's great to meet new people.
Okay, fantastic. Good to hear that. Yeah, this business model can be easy applied to any restaurant, basically, right? As long as you have the correct wallet. And no, let's talk.
The thing is, it's international. So whereas for instance, I went to Miami recently for the Bitcoin conference, I had to change up my sterling into dollars. There was a transaction fee for that disappeared immediately. If there was restaurants in Miami at the time that accepted my EE tokens, there's no transaction cost, no transfer from dollars to sterling and backwards and forwards, which you then get hit with the Visa card fees as well. So I got a double hit. There's no cost involved in that, so there's an extra saving there as well. Global currency.
Definitely. I think from the merchant's point of view, as you mentioned before, if you want a POS terminal, you have to go through the compliance. There's always a rolling reserve as well for the part of the merchants, and there's always the risk of chargebacks and so on. So this does solve an existing problem, and that is a great thing to have. Now, there might be other projects targeting the Horeca world with tokens and try to implement blockchain in it. Can you tell us what makes your project different from other projects that might be in the same area so that investors can move forward and invest in your project?
Yeah, sure. So we thought about the areas that we may get pushback from individual companies or restaurants, etc. One of those is that the supply chain will take time to onboard with this idea. So it's one thing to accept the currency, but for mass adoption, you would want to be able to use that currency potentially to pay for the suppliers. So we've expanded our ecosystem to include hydroponic farms, and these will be chambers that you can place inside the restaurant, and you can buy those using the EE tokens. You can grow your own nutrient-dense, GMO-free, pesticide-free ingredients that you then serve to your customers. So that in itself will be great for the carbon footprint. It's also good for your customers to see that you're actually growing the food that you're about to serve to them, so you can control that. All of those chambers are accessible through the internet as well. They're connected to the internet, so you can program them from outside of the restaurant. It will also send messages to your chefs to say it's time to harvest the crop. So that's quite cool. But outside of that, we're growing we've got some super farms that we're creating ourselves. So we've already got 4 venues in the UK agreed that these will be almost like urban farms. where there are much larger spaces filled with our hydroponic system growing veg that we will then supply to restaurants, and they can pay for that veg using the EE tokens. So we're fixing the supply chain idea straight away. And we've also got sites agreed in Spain and in Texas as well. So we're already thinking ahead of that. We've got some other partnerships as well involved because of the food that we're growing. It's superfoods, as I said, which is going to be good for the individual. We're trying to create partnerships with people that are in trying to help educate children, particularly about the effects of eating healthily and eating better food and knowing where it's coming from. So one of those partnerships is Swim House. They're a new type of swimming experience that you can have. And inside that swimming experience will be one of our restaurants, which is going to be branded EEAT, where you can pay for the tokens there. But also you can use those tokens to pay for swimming lessons for those children. And then in that venue as well, there'll be an area of education about the type of foods that we're growing as well. So it's more of a holistic approach to supplying food and the whole eating experience.
Okay, so you're going a little bit beyond only the restaurants, as you mentioned, for example, swimming. So then you're going to have a partner with this kind of like a health-related gyms entities.
Yeah, we're also going to be providing juices free to the NHS. We've got a partnership agreed with the NHS in the UK, where we're going to be providing certain drinks. Sulforaphane is an ingredient, for instance, which you can give to early stage cancer patients. We're going to be producing that in our super farm foods and juicing that down and providing that as well.
Okay, fantastic, great, and that little by little that does make a big differentiator at the end of the day versus the other projects that are out there.
If I could add into that as well, we typically overlook the other projects just to it's healthy to have competition, and we welcome it. The difference that we are seeing is that a lot of other projects are more short-sighted in terms of how they approach their token ecosystem, as well as their overall goal is just to provide a payment service. Ours is much more than that. It's a reward system. It's a payment system within the restaurant, and it's also a data analytics system. So the restaurants themselves, since you are in control of your own information, you can view your own data analytics as well. And that is going to be pretty big for restaurants who are doing a large turnover. They are going to need to see when they are profitable, what's doing the best out of their products, and how to mitigate any kind of losses. And this provides a direct service for that as well. From the farm to table perspective for restaurants, they are not only getting the data analytics from how their food is grown, so they can have a traceable source of, if they say this is pesticide free, they can actually show, where it's coming from. They know exactly where it's coming from. But this also allows restaurants to have vetted vendors as well, so they know that their food is coming from someplace. They can track it, and they know it's reliable. So a lot of this is all based around supply chain management, and it makes it that much more simple and easy.
Okay, great. It does make sense as well. Now, continue with the comments. Maxan says, powerful and knowledgeable core team with huge partnerships being utilized already. And that leads me to the next question. Is this something that is already in place? So out of these 900 restaurants, is the token are existing, and can we pay for food?
In the V1, it was being accepted, yes. But because we've stopped the V1 and we're about to migrate to V2, you can't actually physically go and use V1 right now. We've made all our vendors stop. So it was being accepted. It isn't right as we record this today, but once we launch the V2 will be accepted.
And when do you expect to launch the V2?
So the IEO with our token ends on the 13th of May. V2 is launched 2 days later on your exchange.
Okay, so 13th of May, 2 days later. Okay, that's perfect, and that's really good news for our traders. Then we expect if everything goes well, then on the 15th, it will be the launch of the IEO.
No, the IEO starts on the 27th of April. There are three rounds.
Already next week.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, there's 3 rounds. Each round is 6 days. There's a small amount of tokens available in each round.
Okay.
But, that ends on the 13th of May, and then on the 15th of May, once the tokens have been distributed, we then launch on La Token.
Okay, then super important for our traders on Wednesday 27th. Then you will be able to trade, to be part of this great project. Simply go to latoken.com and look for the project. If you do not have an account, please go to the website latoken.com, open account. You only need one piece of information of document to upload, and you'll be ready to trade. And of course, remember, the sooner that you start investing in this project, the better there will be. So that is great news. We really wish you all the best in the IEO. And to continue up, let's talk a little bit about the roadmap. I know it's quite hard nowadays to forecast what's going to happen in 1 year. You have the regulators, you have the market conditions, you have technology changing all the time. But in your view, where do you want to see the project in the next 3 years?
Okay, 3 years is
I know.
Crypto.
More like a wish list, right?
Yeah, but in 3 years, I would wish that our app, which we'll come on to shortly, our app will be being used globally, and restaurants will be accepting us, and we will have our own restaurants as well under the EEAT brand. We're building the first one right now in the UK, so that's going to be our flagship.
Also, you're going to have your own, so you'll
Yes.
be your own team. Okay.
Yeah. And by having our own restaurants as well, we're able to offer discounts. So there will be 2 prices. There will be the price for fiat payments, and then there'll be a price for crypto payments, and the crypto payments will have a discount. So it's almost it's engaging that the population that don't know about cryptocurrency, they will see on the menu, if I have cryptocurrency, it will be cheaper for me. How do I get the cryptocurrency? And there will be a QR code on the menus that they can then download the app. And from the app, you'll be able to buy through, we're on board Simplex or Ramp or MoonPay, or all 3 maybe. And then you can buy the crypto from there, and then the app will be used as a wallet. But the app will also be used as a geolocating device, so that we can tell you which restaurants or which hotels or which pubs near you accept the token, so that you can go and use it.
Okay, and this restaurant that you're going to open, may I ask, where is it going to be located, in which city?
The first one's in Lichfield, so it's almost in the centre of England.
Okay, and do you envision it to be? Yep. Do you envision it to be like after that, like a chain?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so then you can practically go international. And may I ask, what will be the menu like?
Well, there is. I don't want to say that we're going to pigeonhole ourselves as one type of restaurant. My restaurants are Italian food, pizzas, and pasta, and we get most of our ingredients flown in from Italy into the UK. So we make everything by hand ourselves. It may be that certain areas will benefit from a steak restaurant, so it'll be Eat Steak, or burger restaurant, Eat Burger. I don't want to say that we're only going to do Italian food.
Okay, yeah. Just that I've seen that usually restaurants have their own kind of like theme or speciality. Not that I'm an expert. I do like to eat out a lot.
Yeah.
My cooking is terrible, so I'm forced to. So with that said, okay, great. It especially super important again to our traders. Please remember that next week, if not mistaken, I think Paul, you said Wednesday the 27th will be the launch in La Token. Please do follow our socials, the announcement channel on Telegram. We will publish it there. Talking about that, if somebody is interested in getting in contact with you, which is the best way to do it?
Well, they can join the Telegram page. or they can message us through Twitter, or they can email us directly if they wanted to. So the email address is info@eeat.finance.
And I assume this goes from one side for investors, and also if somebody has like a restaurant, a bar, and would be interested in cooperating with you, I assume that they can also contact you and establish
Yeah,
some kind of
for anyone
partnership.
for any restaurant, there's no barrier to entry. So there's no monthly costs. We're not charging anyone a premium to sign up with us to accept our token. It's zero costs, zero upfront costs, and zero costs throughout the time that they accept the token. The only thing they will pay is 2 cents per transaction. So whereas you'll pay a percentage of the transaction, the higher the transaction, the more you pay to Visa. This is just 2 cents. That's it.
Okay, 2 cents.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Great. Well, I'm sure that our investors will be keen to participate. I think it's a great project, very ambitious. The whole world is really your market. And
Yeah.
best of all, you can partner with the local Horeca the establishments. Well, do you include as well later on like hotels?
Yeah, we've already spoken to some chains right now in the UK that think it's exciting. But if you think that Airbnb came very quickly out of nowhere and has disrupted the hotel industry,
Mhm.
we hopefully will be able to do some sort of collaboration with Airbnb where they will accept our token as payment once they see that we're of a certain size, I'm guessing. I've spoken to other apps that are food apps, delivery apps,
Yeah.
and they're already talking about taking us as a form of payment as well.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Especially now because I think after COVID, the trend is to have your groceries delivered, and
Absolutely.
at least in this part of Europe, that's the norm. People already don't feel like doing the grocery shopping themselves.
Yeah, I mean, for people who hold our token as well, there'll be other benefits aside from just being able to use it as a cryptocurrency. But we're going to offer prizes along the lines of Zoom meetings with chefs that work for us. So you can have like an hour's meeting with a chef. You can talk about menu selections, or can you show me how to chop an onion? As simple as that, or how do you spatchcock a chicken? There'll be live links from inside kitchens as well in restaurants that we own. There'll be prizes where you can come as a winner to an opening of the next restaurant where it is in the world, and we'll pay for your transport and accommodation and free food while you're there. There's so many things that we can do as in the real world, tangible gifts. Excuse me, sorry. So they're quite unusual things, new for this space, but these are all free food winnings and all sorts of things like that. So it's quite exciting what we can do.
Okay, perfect. No, sounds fantastic. And again, very good feeling from your community. They seem to be very supportive. And for our viewers, if you do not know about, I haven't heard about this project before, please visit eat.finance. As you see on the screen, you have all the relevant information in order to make a decision. You have the roadmap, the team, the light paper. You can get in contact with the community. Please take action. Once again, the IO will be launched on the 27th, which is next week, Wednesday. So you're still in time. Just keep an eye open on our Telegram announcements and latoken.com as well. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. It's a great project. That I said, very ambitious. We do hope to be with you all the way and get it to a very successful project. And as a final statement, do you have any words for our viewers today?
If you are interested in us and you want to know more, please look at the website or come into any of our social media platforms. Telegram is always the busiest. There's always somebody around on Telegram, whatever the time of day, to ask any questions. We've got a very good admin team. I've known them all for some time, over a year, most of them, and they're really good guys. So please make yourself known. Come and say hello.
Great. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, really appreciate having you here. Very good project. Well done. And wish you all the best success in the IEO. We'll be through with you all the way. To our viewers, thank you very much for your time, for watching this, and we'll see you at the next show.
Thank you, Xavier.
Thank you for your
Thank you,
time.
gentlemen.